would be nice.
Honestly, what the hell? Let's just continue to beat a dead horse, and I'll stay on.
Sure, let's do it. Why the hell not? That's what we do.
I think it's reps. It's just being standing on the podium, answering questions. It didn't go too bad. I dealt with it pretty good.
Yep.
F those guys. And then he'll be back to himself.
You're right.
Absolutely. All right,
Thanks,
Tommy
bud.
Curry, great stuff. Good talking to you. We'll talk to you again real soon, all right?
See you guys. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Okay. I just learned about something that Ted Johnson right here put my attention to.
No, this is a fake one. Stiz and Jackson.
Are you serious?
Texted me that
You got fleeced again, Teddy.
You got catfished here, buddy.
Hang on. Is this all AI?
AI generated.
Okay, because there was this
scary world,
amazing back and forth with Deion Sanders, apparently, and his girlfriend, that there's videos that look just like Deion Sanders saying so. You know what? I want to play it anyway.
What? Come on.
No. Knowing that it's fake, knowing that it's. Hang on, what is it? What are you holding
the
up?
The guy has a sign that says, "Imagine being dumb enough to think this is real." After the whole.
So, Rich, the videos, what you seeing, like the quotes of those videos, has nothing to do with the video that is being posted.
Once again, I didn't hear anything. I just saw because there's no sound in here when they click on it. It's just it has a quote and it's got a video of him talking. And basically, what it was Deion Sanders' girlfriend saying that she wants to get paid a certain amount of money because Deion Sanders can't satisfy her or something like that.
In reality, if you click the video, it's her talking about like beauty products.
Yeah,
okay.
talking about her makeup.
Why would I click the video? I just
You guys got a wreck shunned is what happens.
All right.
Yes. All right. Well, there you go.
Oh, well.
Well, there was that break. That was going to be a good one, too.
Sock next.
We'll find something to talk about.
Sure. Sock and more Marconi Award-winning content right after this.
WEEI. 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 WEEI.
WEEI.
is 93.7 WEEI, and Rich, Ken, three-time Super Bowl champion Ted Johnson, broadcasting live from Fenway. It's a gorgeous night. One of these days I'm going to stick around and actually go to the game. I always have something I have to do. It's like we have this awesome thing. Like, one of the perks of this job is that you get inside Fenway Park and you can stay inside Fenway Park.
Yeah.
And you guys have the super cool like Wayne's World backstage passes. I don't have one of those yet.
Well, why not? How come?
It's just taking a while. It's like I think it's
And
truly
they still
like,
let you in?
Yeah, I'm on a list, but I do not have like the thing with my face on it because I mean it truly is like NORAD. It's like super high security to get into this place.
I love that you had the same reaction I did the first time I walked in here. It's like, so if I took these chips, nobody would say anything?
Truly, it's
Oh,
like
come on.
it's just you're running through and everything is at your disposal if you want to.
Nobody in here.
You can take a dump in any toilet that you want to. They're all wide open. There's hot dogs just for the taking everywhere.
I think when it's empty like this, you get a more of appreciation for the arena and the stadium.
It's true, of course. It's true, and I make it. I every time I come here because we have to start off over by home plate. That's where our entrance is, but we broadcast in the outfield, and every time I walk to my seats, I walk into like the loge boxes and I walk through the stands, and because it's just awesome. You feel like you're the only one alive. Like there's almost no one in there. Every once in a while I see a couple people taking a tour or they're like, watering the outfield, but sometimes you're just there by yourself and it's really freaking awesome. And then I always have to leave afterwards. I never go to any of the games, which I should do. Because I don't know.
Do you hold any hope they're going to come back and have a buzzing Fenway by the end of the summer? Is there any hope that I can cling to? I mean,
give me a reason.
Will Roman and Crochet come back?
Yeah, that's true.
And they make a trade, according to reports over the weekend. Breslow was looking for a big bat. He's out there on big bat watch.
You think that's smart? Like, you don't think they should just sell? I mean, sell immediately.
I mean, not immediately. I think at this point you got to just ride it out. At the worst case, you wait until the trade deadline, and then if you're out of it by late July, yes, then you ship. But what's the point now? What else are you going to get back now?
I mean, they can't hit the dang ball in a stadium where you should be able to hit doubles and triples.
Three homers last night. Now it's flipped on its head. It's like now you can't pitch.
Its head.
Did they win the game?
No, they did not. This is the only team in the majors who does not have double-digit wins at home, which is insane at Fenway Park. But either way, I don't know. I mean, will they turn it around? No, they won't. But if they even if Roman Anthony comes back, according to everything we're hearing from Chad Tracy, is that it might not be till after the All-Star game. Yeah. He's going to be sent down, which he probably should. And if that's the bat you're relying on, I mean, it wasn't fair in the first place that you had essentially a kid who was going to carry this offense, and now he's got to carry this offense coming off of an injury.
And the schedule's rough. I mean, you guys pointed that out. You got the division teams coming up, Yankees, Rays.
I mean, these next 15 games could just bury them so that they don't have a chance in hell.
Chris Sale tomorrow. Yeah.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Apparently, do you have this by any chance, the audio of Jalen Hurts, Stiz? Because I'm seeing this right now. Jalen Hurts was asked about A.J. Brown potentially being traded, and I guess it doesn't sound like it just doesn't sound like he wants to answer any of these questions.
Well, he wasn't invited to the wedding, right? I mean,
so that's weird. Admit that that's weird. So
totally.
Apparently A.J. Brown got married, and almost everyone else on the Eagles got invited except for the quarterback. That's weird.
That's what does that say more about? Right. Quarterback or the receiver?
Drake May should have been there. Just been like, start working on the relationship. Just been
on that.
You want to hear that sound?
Yeah, you got it. Let's hear it.
If AJ is traded, how would that affect the offense? How would that affect you?
Pick the right question to sip on, huh?
I think AJ is gonna love Drake May.
He is.
Love him.
He's gonna love him.
I mean, seriously, Jalen Hurts is. Look, he's a good quarterback, but he's nothing like Drake May.
No, and you get to write the story too. Like you get Drake May at the beginning of his story. You get to be a huge part of developing who is ultimately, hopefully, going to become, one of the next great quarterbacks in this league.
Well,
that's exciting.
You want my bad Sox Pats pivot comparison here?
Sure, let's go.
You get what you pay for. With the Red Sox, you had Bregman. You saw what an impact he made on the team and on the field. Then you went for the IKEA furniture with Caleb Durbin, and it broke, after shipping. Same thing with the Patriots. You get A.J. Brown. You know what you're getting. You're getting a legit, proven product, and it's going to make all the difference. And Ted talked about it, and so did Tommy Curran. What an impact he can make on the room and just a trickle-down effect. You need that guy.
It's
absolutely.
Tim on line 1. Tim, hey, thanks for hanging in there. We appreciate it. You got 30 seconds with Ted Johnson. Go ahead. Tim.
Hello, Tim.
We kept him waiting for like
moment.
2 hours. I know he was saying, he was saying he agrees with you, Ted, on A.J. Brown. I want to know what it was about. He's like, let me talk to Ted.
Him being a deep threat, probably. Just the impact he'll have on the entire offense. It opens everything up. It helps Travion Henderson get space, and Ramondre get some space. I don't know, opens things up for tight ends. It's going to be the thing was, if people are trying to project the wide receiver room, with Kayshon Boutte and A.J. Brown on the same team, I can't imagine, because there's redundancy there. A.J. does so much more than Kayshon, and I'm wondering if they were trying to trade Kayshon, what the teams would give the Patriots.
And would you give him to Kansas City or somebody in the division, or
I would.
You would?
Yeah,
because I feel like Boutte would go on some kind of revenge, especially if you gave him to Mahomes. Mahomes needs a deep threat. You said it yourself.
Yeah. Yep.
They've taken every Patriots scrap from Tyquan Thornton to,
Boy, they really have. Juju Smith-Schuster.
They made him useful in a Super Bowl. It was so I could see that. I would be afraid to trade him to Kansas City.
Well, we have Chad Tracy, your manager or interim manager, rather. It's weird he's still an interim manager for the Boston Red Sox. And a lot of interesting things going on with the Red Sox right now. Let's get some answers on Roman Anthony. Also, we'll talk to him a little bit about how this team is hitting, but they're still not winning. What is behind all of that? Chad Tracy joins us next.
This is Rich Shirtleaf, Ken Laird, and Ted Johnson.
We have with us in studio, it is 93.7 WEEI, Rich, Ken, three-time Super Bowl champion Ted Johnson, and in studio right now, Chad Tracy is brought to you by Shaw's and Star Market, the official supermarket of the Red Sox Radio Network, by Arbella, here for baseball fans, here for good, and by John Sewer and Drain Cleaning, the name to know when your drains don't flow. Chad, by the way, this is the first time I believe Ted and I have met you, but Ken right there, I hope you don't have any PTSD, because he told me that he interviewed you with the Woo Sox and accidentally started things off by how did you do it? It was like,
well, it was after his media session, and I said to Chad, I covered your dad in Pittsburgh, and boy, those teams were horrible, or something like that. We had like an awkward exchange.
Chad couldn't remember, you know.
No, and you gave me a look.
So he immediately insulted, like
I didn't mean it that way.
But it came out that way.
Chad,
tell me you took it that way. I would take.
I didn't. I don't actually remember you saying that.
Okay.
There you go.
You're so insignificant.
Perfect. Yes. Yeah.
Well, Chad. Okay, so let's just start off by saying, at least you guys are hitting lately, so that's nice. I mean, obviously the team is they're snake bitten at home, and the record isn't great. But when you see some of the forward movement with the offense, and you still just can't get over that hump, does any of that give you any kind of hope? I know you want the wins, and I know you want the W's, right, but at least there's some sort of step offensively that looks like you're going in the right direction.
I think that's well said. Yeah, I mean, you got to win games. Like, everybody knows that. Coaches know that. Players know that. So there is no moral victories. But there is, in a sense, when you're playing a 162-game schedule and the American League is not performing as a whole, and you feel like, as we've gone along in the month I've been here, like, hey, our offense needs to be better. And you feel pretty strong that your pitching is going to be good, that even if it has a blip here and there. So to see us scoring runs, like, consistently, getting, 4, 5, 6 runs at least over the last couple of weeks, as a group, in a baseball sense, you look at that and say, if we can continue this for a long stretch of time, we like our chances,
Yeah.
That being said, it's come, but it's happened to come at a time when we were enough games under 500 where we realized we have a lot of work to do as well.
Can you read anything into it being Fenway, where you guys seem to be snake bit most of all?
No, other than just the results of the games this week, where you feel like, maybe you get a lead and you didn't hold it, and then you're trailing and you make a vicious comeback like we have 3 out of the last 4 nights, and it comes up just short. And so, yeah, that can make you feel snake bitten and make you feel like that sense of like, man, nothing's going right. But at the same time, like, there are still a lot of good things happening that weren't before.
Yeah.
And you have to look at it that way. But, no question, like, there's a lot of things we have to do better. We have to win games. Like, and the biggest one and the most telling one is, like, we got to win games at home.
Yeah.
And that changes the whole dynamic. So we get all that. But how do you do that? Like, take the pitching and the offense and put them together for a stretch of time. That's how teams go on runs where you say, hey, man, they won 12 out of the last 15.
Yeah.
That's how that happens. You take the pitching that's been good at times, you take the offense, which looks better, and you put those together. And if you have one of those runs, everybody looks up and goes, man, like, they're kind of right in it, or they're in the second wild cards, whatever. That's how you have to look at it when you have 100 and whatever games left.
Chad, can you tell me, because there's been kind of conflicting reports, can you tell me exactly what's wrong with Roman Anthony's injury? Like, what his actual injury is?
It's a strain in his tendon in his finger on the top of his hand. So it's basically just gives him discomfort with certain movements and the way he flexes his wrist to swing.
Okay.
So he was able to take some swings yesterday for the first time, which was good. It was progress over the last time he tried to swing, and it still was uncomfortable. So there's a lot of things he's able to do. Obviously, this is not related to his legs. He's able to keep his legs in order. He can shag, he can run, he can throw. This motion doesn't hurt it as much. So it's a waiting game is all it is. And I know that's tough. But the nature of the injury is you got to be able to swing. You got to be able to use your wrists and your hands to swing a baseball bat. So you're waiting for that discomfort to go away so then you can ratchet up the activity.
So would you consider his injury a matter of pain tolerance?
In a way, it can be described as that, but also no at the same time, because I could say as a player, like there's maybe something that bothers you on a certain part of your body. I can handle that, but like if I have to swing a bat for a living,
yeah,
and I have to go out and my job, especially Roman, like everybody knows Roman has seen him last year, like what this guy can do to help us, right?
Yeah.
Which is with a bat in his hand in the batter's box.
Mm-hmm.
And my biggest attribute to help this team, and I can't do that with one hand.
Yeah.
You know, like what you would be asking him to do is like, you know, we got to be able to get him healthy. You know,
Yeah.
like you want to take a guy that can give you his best of what that is and then say, but we only got 50% of that because one of his hands is not functioning properly. So,
yeah.
I mean, in a sense, like he's got to be able to be comfortable with it, but because of where it is,
Yeah.
It's really hard to do that.
So that's a good way to describe it because, Ted being an ex-athlete, and we've spoken to athletes before, that, when you hear that a player is dealing with pain tolerance and that's
Right.
the thing that's wrong, it almost, we have heard from athletes that, it classifies an injury when it's pain tolerance. It paints the player as being soft if they
Right.
don't return.
Right.
So, and can you see how that clarification, really helps out a player like what you just said, that it's not just a pain tolerance thing? Because if you're Roman Anthony, you're like, oh, geez, man, what are people thinking if they think it's just, I'm not tough enough to get out there and play? But it seems that that's not the case. It affects the actual, like his actual performance.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, try to think of it like if you're an outfielder and your shoulder's barking a little bit. Well, you might have to throw 2 balls during the game and you throw the ball in and hit the cutoff man. Like that's different than this guy's impact is as a hitter, but one of his hands isn't working.
Yeah.
Like that's not that's not an apples to apples thing.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying. Like there are things that all athletes have, pain and discomfort at different times during the year, and they say I can grind through this because I know overall, like it's not going to affect the outcome of a game.
Mm-hmm.
But as a hitter of Roman's capability and what he's able to do, hey, we need you to hit without one of your hands, like without full use. Like that's not it. So like for us as an organization, like yes, we want him to get healthy. Yes, we want him back.
Yeah.
But we're not looking like, oh, it's 50%. Like get out there. Like it's not easy to do that. So. We want it to move along. Like I hope he gets better fast, and we're making improvements now, which is great.
Is he going to be sent down, like to get some?
Oh, I would imagine so at this point. Like we haven't fully got into that yet. We'll start talking more about that as we get closer to feel like, hey, he's ready to go. But the amount of time he's missed, like it's probably fair to the kid. Like let's go get some at bats and get our timing back.
Chad, how's the overall morale right now? Who are your dudes? Who are the guys that you've identified as maybe being kind of the flag carriers that, picking guys up and kind of pulling guys through these, times like you're in right now?
Believe it or not, the morale's pretty good. Interestingly enough, like I feel like it's almost better now than it was 2 weeks ago when we were winning games, but finding a way to win them like 3-2 and just scratching out some wins. But because the bats have started to come to life a little bit, I feel the morale, and I think it's what we just talked about, the sense of the guys knowing, like in the long haul, if we found our rhythm offensively, we can hold on to that for a while. They feel pretty good about we'll have a run at some point. But to answer your question, all of them, like Wilson Contreras has been an amazing addition for us. Like he's been around the league for a long time and plays the game as hard as a veteran player as that you'll ever see. That is huge for us, and we have Crochet and Ranger, all these guys. Sonny, when they're not pitching, they're the guys standing right on top of the dugout, rooting for the group to get it going. They know what it can mean if our offense gets going. So we have a really tight knit group, and I think when you kind of watch what's going on, everybody's on the same page and feels like is our record what we want? Not even close. Like it's not good enough. But I think everybody views it the same way, that like the team's capability, if we do some of the things we're talking about, like it could be a 2-week stretch where that changes dramatically, and you have to continue to look at it that way.
We're talking to Sox manager Chad Tracy, and one addition to the game that I love this year is the introduction of the ABS challenge system. I get irrationally excited when it's challenged. I know the people in the crowd too. It's like everyone leans forward and are they going to get this one right? It's quick and it's truly added to, I think, the enjoyment of the game. However, when it comes to ABS challenges, The Red Sox, I just looked it up. They're unfortunately dead last. They are the only team as of this afternoon that has lost more challenges than they've won. I think it's a success rate of 48%.
Yeah.
Is that something you're discussing with the players? And is the team doing like any kind of teaching on when to challenge and what they should be doing?
Talk about it a lot, actually. Talked about it yesterday. Believe it or not, you guys know I've been in AAA for a long time. This stuff originated in AAA. I've been watching it for 4 years. 48% sounds terrible, and it's, but even in AAA, all the years they did it, I think the average was around 51. So it's not a massive thing. It's usually just 50-50, slightly above. And we have numbers that we look at. I don't want to turn it into a math equation, but per challenge that we get right, our run value is actually pretty good. The problem is we're not challenging enough. We leave opportunities on the table. So our conversations with our players are not necessarily about missing one, because everybody misses half of them, on average.
Yeah.
It's more about there are opportunities, even maybe in situations where there's nobody on base, where you want to use those and keep them around for big situations.
Yeah.
But there are certain egregious calls with nobody on. If go, and not leaving strike one that's this far outside and just being okay with it being strike one.
Yeah.
That's the conversations, is being more willing to use them in spots that maybe aren't with bases loaded, but if you know. So we're having conversations around that topic pretty regularly, trying to get that thing to swing the other direction.
For instance, Ranger missed one yesterday.
That was not a great one.
Not a great one.
No. And he knows that too.
Are pitchers even allowed? I mean, some teams just ban.
Every once in a while, a pitcher in frustration, or if they think maybe somebody's head, they'll rip one, and that happens. But yeah, that one was pretty far outside.
Instantly, I was like, hang on, what's going on?
That one was pretty far outside.
Go ahead. Go for it.
I was just going to ask you about Craig Breslow. He had a quote that he said you guys were feeling each other out, getting to know each other. Obviously, you know who each other are, but I'm sure in a more intimate sense. How's that been from your perspective? You know the players probably maybe better than you do Craig in some sense.
Talking about Craig and I?
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's been good. He's, obviously we know each other. It's been the last few years as me working on the Myers, but just not a lot of, day-to-day interaction.
Yeah.
So now I've been here a month, and he's very present, and we get to have multiple conversations a day, before the game, after the day, and that's come along nicely. The more you're around somebody, the more you get to talk to them and see how they view things, and they get to see how you view things, and you kind of take your two thought processes and put them together. In addition to our staff, that's really good. So that's come along well as far as he and I's working relationship.
For instance, on the Marcelo Meyer decision to play him at short, to not play him at short, how close do you guys? How many discussions do you have to have with management about what the lineup is on a day in, day out basis?
Lineup wise, none. No, none. As far as Marcelo playing short, yeah, we had a lot of conversations around that, and that wasn't just Brez and I. That was Flo, who works with our infielders on a daily basis, myself, Brez, Eddie Romero. We all talked about how we're going to handle that, all the way down to knowing we have to wait and see what's going on with Trevor Story. Do you want to mess with this young kid and move him to second, and then 2 weeks later move him to short rather? Yeah. 2 weeks later have to move, all the ways of the different things and how it affects people, and being very strategic about what we're going to do that. And then once we realized that was going to be a long-term thing, we're going to move the kid over there. We got him the work he needed. But as far as day-to-day, here's who's playing tomorrow. I get with Flo, and we talk about that at the end of the day, and we look at it, and I make a lineup and send it out. And base that on what I'm seeing, what I think's good matchups for the pitcher we're going to face the next day. Who do I think's playing well, and I want to keep in there. And sometimes Brez is in there and has thoughts or whatever, but for the most part, not for the most part, holistically, that I've said this before, pen to paper, at the end is my decision.
With Roman out, Jarren Duran's more of an everyday player now, and it feels like there's maybe a correlation to his uptick in his hitting. Do you see it that way? Just the fact that he's getting to play in the field more, and that maybe that's a reason why he's hitting the ball a little bit better, or is it something else?
I don't necessarily think it's because the field. I think maybe there's something to. He's in there every day, and it's in the same spot in the lineup. That could be. It could be that. He's finding a little bit of a rhythm, and he's starting to square the ball up. There was periods there in my first couple weeks where he wasn't getting results and he was hitting balls hard. That can start to grind on you mentally when you feel like you're doing everything right and you're not getting the results. He's getting some results now, so it could just be that, you know, when as an athlete, when you start to feel positive things happen, it starts to stack. But certainly, like, maybe just leading off every day and the trust of being there. But what I know about Jaren is when Jaren's good and Jaren is himself, he helps us score runs. You know, any guy leading off, if he's struggling, it's going to, you know, you're not going to score. But when he is right and what he's capable of doing as a leadoff hitter, hit the ball out of the ballpark, hit it in the gap for a triple, he helps us win. So he's starting to swing the bat better, and it's probably no coincidence that we're scoring a little bit more too.
Chad, it's been kind of interesting watching the way you put the lineup together, in that you are definitely someone who it seems like believes in having a merit-based lineup. If somebody gets in there and you give them a shot and they play well, they seem to end up having more playing time. And by the same token, if somebody goes in there, you give them a shot, sometimes they'll go back on the bench. Like, how has that philosophy affected how you put the card together every day?
Well, sometimes it's, you know, you see a guy maybe goes in there and does well and he's not. Some of it's based on like who you're facing, you know, and you take a look at an opposing pitcher, you know, and there's lefties in the league that are more vulnerable to right-handed hitters, you know, and it makes sense to stack right-handed hitters, you know, and get as many difficult matchups for that pitcher in there as possible. And some of your right-handed hitters are better at hitting lefties. So that's part of it. And the next day there's a righty and the lineup switches. Well, it's because there's a righty on the mound, and you're looking at all the information about your own players, what this guy's we're facing is good at or not. And then in other senses, it's when I got here, like we were struggling offensively. So I was doing different things to try to spark the offense, and also taking my own, I had just gotten here, take my own mental notes of what I'm seeing, what do I think a quality at bat looks like, and how do I get as many of those in the lineup as I can. Quality at bat score runs, you know, more, and quality at bat can be you made an out and you saw 7 pitches and drove the pitch count up. Like, that can be a quality at bat. So I'm watching these things and trying to figure out, like, how do I get to a place where I feel like that's the best lineup on a given day. And I think you guys have seen, like, it's, you know, doesn't mean it sticks, but like a lot of it was, how do I get Massa and Gasper both in the lineup? It's been hard to do. He's going to have to catch. You know, I want him to go out there and catch. And Izzy has now taken a jump forward since his at-bats in Kansas City. So, like, yeah, there are things that you see, and you're seeing trends, and you want to run with those things when you see them, and try to keep as many quality at-bats in there you can. There's no secret that we needed to score more, so we're trying to do that.
Izzy said after the game, he came here to hit pull-side home runs, and he's had more of that. That must make the driveline guys so happy, right? This is exhibit A of why we're doing this.
He wants to do more damage. Is probably exactly what he's trying to say. Is like Izzy's been around the game for a long time. He knows he's got a Gold Glove. He knows he's probably got a role to fill anywhere, right? He also knows that role in a lot of cases likely is, you know, as a utility player that doesn't play a lot. Like, when I first got here, he wasn't playing much, you know. I think in his mind it was, at his age, is if I want to stick around for a while and maybe I can grab some more playing time, whether it's here or, you know, next 2 years down the road if it's somewhere else, that if he can showcase that he can do some damage. And I give him so many props for jumping in on something to say, I know who I am as a player. I know I can help, but I want to do more, you know? And that's why he's jumping in on, like, I have more capability in my bat, and I'm going to try to explore those things and not be afraid of that. I give him all the credit in the world for that. And he's earned the right to get some starts right now.
Chad, I'm sorry. Am I wrong to roll my eyes every time I hear drive line and the over?
It's my fault. I brought it up.
No, it's just that it just seems like you're taking something and over-analyzing it to the point where it doesn't get in their heads. Like, if you're like a batter and you've been raised one way and you've been hitting dongs your entire life, and then somebody tries to come in and use analytics to change the way you hit, isn't that a negative effect on most players?
It can be. That's why I've said before about driveline or driveline, even if you use that word, it's not a one-size-fits-all thing. If you don't know exactly what it is, it just becomes driveline, and everybody uses this punchline word. It's driveline, and you don't know, like, driveline. You know, the hitting philosophy encompasses a lot of things, right? Swing decisions is what we call them, or for us, swing at strikes, take balls.
Yeah, right.
Would we all agree that that's a very important thing?
Sure, yeah.
Good,
right.
yes.
That's a good thing. Hitting the ball hard, or in exit velocity, hit the ball hard.
Yeah.
Is that an important thing?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right. Ball flight.
Now you're talking my language.
Ball flight, which is not yank it in the air at 900 feet in the air. It's like hit the ball above the infield.
Yeah.
Because that's where extra base hits are. Is that an important thing?
Sure.
this is what it is. Now, who are you as a player, right? Well, X player, he is really good at A, B, and C, but his swing decisions are poor.
Yeah.
They're going to focus on, let's make better swing decisions.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's not everybody go into the batting cage and open your front shoulder and pull it in the air. That's what I think people's view of it is. That's not the case.
It reminds me of Little League when the dad who unasked goes up and grabs your shoulder and pulls it sideways.
And that's not what it is. Jarren Duran, for example, right now Jarren Duran is on heat. We talked about Jarren Duran just a second ago. He's on heat, or he's swinging the bat better. Jarren, when he swings at balls, he swings a lot. When he swings at balls, he's not good. When he takes them, he starts swinging the bat well. He's brought his chase outside the zone down about 10% in this period of time, and he's hitting better.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's not hit it over the monster straight down the line, and that's what people think it is. It's not the case. This is our pillars, and this is how we view good hitters.
Yeah.
Where do our hitters lie in each one of those things, and how can we make them better in that one or that one or that one, and make sure, hey, you're really good at that. Keep doing that.
And half of it's like being just a good therapist, right?
That's it. That's always been a part of hitting.
Yeah.
You got to be a good therapist.
One of my favorite stories.
It's a game of failure.
It is. And I remember we were talking to David Ortiz one time, and he was telling about this one time he was going through a slump, and Terry Francona is just kind of standing and watching him at batting practice, and Ortiz is just, he just doesn't have it, and he goes, Terry, what can I do? What's wrong? Can you help me? And he goes, you're David freaking Ortiz. I can't tell you how to hit a baseball. And at that moment on, he went on a tear. Yeah. And it was he just needed to hear, you're one of the greatest hitters that this league has. Right. And he said that, boom, instantly it turned him around. And it's just that weird thing that someone like in your position, it's not just the X's, it's not just the stats and putting together the lineup cards. It's literally having to be a therapist at all times.
You're not wrong about that. Sometimes it literally is just something you say to somebody that reminds them, because you can. It's there's more failure involved in baseball than any other sport. Mm-hmm. It's like you go to the field every day to fail. Mm-hmm. That's what the sport is. Yeah. So sometimes it's just saying something like that to remind somebody as they are struggling and they forget how good they are, which is easy to do when you go through a stretch of failure, and say something like that and they remind them, man, I'm pretty good, Yeah. And it can be. I've seen that too, where it's like one little comment and the guy goes out and gets 3 hits that night. It's a mind-boggling game.
Well, let's hope the failure at home stops
tonight. On that.
Let's see if maybe this
Ed's
team
taking his tarp off.
Oh yeah. That would be
I'll be
nice.
in the right field. Check that out in the 3rd inning.
You will not be able to miss him. Well, Chad, thanks for coming in, man. It's great to meet you the first time, and hopefully things get turned around, because as I said, you have guys on this team who don't even know what Fenway is like when your team is winning.
I know it.
And just to be able to tell them and show them it's the greatest place on earth. When this team is winning, Fenway Park is one of the greatest places on earth to be. And just for them to, see that would be something else.
We feel the same. But they are going to work, and we're going to work, and we feel the same. That's what we're fighting for.
Awesome. All right. Well, Chad, thank you so much for coming in, and good luck tonight and for the rest of the season until we talk to you next. Chad Tracy, brought to you by Shaw's and Star Market, the official supermarket of the Red Sox Radio Network, by Arbella, here for baseball fans, here for good, and by John Sewer and Drain Cleaning, the name to know when your drains don't flow. We'll be right back.
Now, here's what's trending on WEEI.
It's trending now on WEEI, brought to you by Mario's Roofing. We won't soak you to keep you warm and dry. Game 2, Sox and Braves. Connolly Early and Bryce Elder, pair of 4-2 record-wise pitchers. 6:45 first pitch on the Shaw's and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network. Will and Will on the call. Shaw's, proud to be local since 1860. Arcan gets you ready at 5:45 with the Mass Mutual pregame show. Garrett Whitlock day-to-day with a sore knee after slipping on a wet mound Sunday. Homeowners choose Mario's Roofing because they're fair, honest, and provide quality services. Call Mario's Roofing today for a free estimate, 781-344-2420. I'm Ken Laird, and that's what's trending now.
I was thinking maybe the Red Sox, along with the Celtics and Bruins, may have done a little better if we weren't always hearing and talking about the Patriots. The A.J. Brown talk, I have nightmares now. I wake up, is he there? Where is he? Same thing about Peter Alongo, or whatever his name. All these players, forget about it. They're not coming here, and there's going to be a lockout, so we have to do what we're doing. Bitch some more.
Mama Fratelli continuing to leave us take grenades. Where is Sloth when you need him? That take grenade was brought to you by Milligan and Higgins, OUI and criminal defense attorneys. Go to milliganandhiggins.com for a free consultation. It is Rich, Ken, and Ted Johnson broadcasting from Fenway Park at the Clubhouse Fenway studio, brought to you by your New England Ford dealers and employee pricing for all. You pay for what we pay. You pay what we pay. Ford, the official vehicle of Major League Baseball and that dirty water.
Same thing about Peter Alongo.
Okay.
They should have signed Peter Alongo.
Sure. Why the hell not? All right. Christian Arcand is here in studio with us, and I hope you don't mind. I know this is before you're supposed to clock in.
That's okay.
But I need your take on something, okay?
All right, let's hear it.
Because this is interesting to me, because this weird clip just got even weirder over the last few minutes, because I've heard some things about this. So Drake May, just like Mike Vrabel, spoke to the media today. And are you telling me, first of all, is this question from Dan Roach? Is that what we're hearing? This is a Dan Roach question?
Well, that's what Cadlick subtweeted. So
Okay.
Well, you've reeled me in already if
Okay.
it's a Roachy question.
Now, let me say this. I will fight you over, like, I will defend Dan Roach with my life. He's
Roach.
one of my favorite people on the planet.
FOR, friend of Rich.
He is an FOR, without a question. He's a friend of Rich. So this question, I know people are kind of like saying, what are you talking about? But just remember, it's from Dan Roach, which means the question's awesome instantly. So let's play this question that was asked to Drake May. Let's take a listen.
Follow up Butchie's rude question. Are you thicker with two C's? Is that the way you're supposed to say it? Is that kind of like the hip thing? Are you thicker with two C's? Is that how we're supposed to be? Or
I think that's paused, if that's anything. I think that's not the way to put it, but
you better you feel conditioned as far as another year of experience, just your body getting it ready for this.
I think that's just part of having a long season and be able to take some time off and come back into it and get your body right for the beginning of the season. And I think it's kind of
the rest of it doesn't matter. Stop it. All right. So the question was, are you thicker with two C's?
Are you thicker with two C's?
Drake, would you say your booty's popping like a balloon, or would you put it another way?
Which is so great now that I know it's Dan Roach. Now that I know it's Dan, hell yeah, Dan. I'm sending you a text in just a minute. It's a high five because you are an FOR, friend of Rich. But okay, so that part's interesting. But can you play it one more time? Because I want to hear what Drake May, his answer was one more time, if you don't mind, sis. Just that you don't have to get to the
rude question. Are you thicker with two C's? Is that the way you're supposed to say it? Is that kind of like the hip thing? Are you thicker with two C's? Is that how we're supposed to be? Or
I think that's paused, if that's anything. I think that's not the way to put it, but
Okay, stop. Okay. So that's pause.
Yes.
First of all, I've never heard that before. Like, that's pause. And I originally thought, okay, does that just mean, all right, calm down? Like, what are we talking about? Put everything on pause. But apparently that's not what pause means. No. So you're shaking your head as if you know what pause is.
I know what pause. Pause is like an old slang thing. Like, pause has been around for a while.
Okay, so I'm
Jay-Z was saying pause on reasonable doubt. Like, it's been around for a long time.
Okay, so I'm the unk here. I apparently am not.
Yes.
No, Roach is the unk.
That's right.
Roach definitely.
I'm just learning what pause is. But so what do you believe pause means?
Pause, you say when it's like a double entendre that can be interpreted as vaguely gay.
Okay,
that's what I think of when I think of pause.
Because I looked it up, and it says pause is slang to acknowledge that something someone just said could be interpreted as having a gay or sexual connotation, usually unintentionally.
Right.
They either say pause themselves as a disclaimer, or someone else calls it out by saying that's pause.
It's like that's what she said. It's any one of those.
All right, so if somebody says something, it sounds like so. Yeah. So Dan Roach saying, "Are you thick with two C's?" So are we interpreting that Drake May said, "Dude, that's gay"? Is that what the term is, or that could be interpreted as being?
It could be interpreted
gay?
that way because that's what you say to. That's usually the way that you would use thick with 2 C's or, whatever. That's usually like, oh, wow, girl, you're looking thick with 2 C's. Like that's what that.
But I would think that would be hetero.
Yeah, so that technically wouldn't be. So that's like the weird thing. But Rich, I agree with you 100%. That is what if you really break it down as to what this stuff means, that is what he's saying, and it's a little weird.
And Stiz, you told me that this isn't the first time that Drake has used that phrase, correct?
No, he's been doing it since he came onto the scene in New England. At least since I've been following him. Yeah, we had him on every week last week. He did it quite a few times.
Okay, well, I mean, we're going to have him on every week this year, too. If that's the case, I'm going to ask him, like, dude, what does pause mean? I'm old. So could you play this, another situation where he used that phrase?
I'd have to go digging, but I do have just a drop of him. This was from, again, a year ago.
Pause.
Okay, all right. So he does this.
It sounds multifaceted, though. I mean, we'll get Roche to follow up. But
I guess so, but it is kind of funny that the quarterback of the Patriots is like, dude, that kind of sounds gay.
And he's young.
Would you say you have dumps like a truck?
What a question.
Well, it's like, what? All night long? Let me see that thong.
I mean, he is 23. Ken, how old is he? 23, 22?
Drake?
No, Drake May. Oh, yeah, Drake May, sorry.
Oh, yeah, 23, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's very popular amongst the youngs.
Yeah, it says origin. Came out of New York hip-hop culture in the early 2000s, popularized by figures such as Ron and the Diplomats.
Well, Drake's married now. He's not even young. And once you get married, you're not young anymore. I mean, he's graduated to adulthood.
I just think that's so funny. Can I hear Dan Roach, by the way?
What a question was amazing.
No,
unbelievable.
The question was awesome. It's truly one of my favorite.
Who taught him that?
Didn't Dan Roach also ask about someone being bow-legged earlier?
Yeah, during the draft, he asked if Dave Ackus was. He's like, Elliot, it looks like he's bow-legged. Is he a bow-legged player? And Elliot gave him the most serious response to it. It was like he didn't even blink. He was like, well, yeah, some people were bow-legged and some people have.
What kind of women's he been looking at? He's all about the bow-legged women with thick bodies. Hell yeah, THICC. Now let me see what THICC.
Drake, would you say that you're thicker than a bowl of oatmeal?
A thick meaning.
Thicker than a Snicker.
Did you get the Kate Upton implants there?
Thick is slang used to describe something or someone with full, curvy, voluptuous body. Specifically referring to a
guy outside's looking at us. What the hell are they talking about?
You know what thick is, right? Referring to a well-proportioned, fleshy figure with notable curves.
Yeah. Rude question.
Especially in the
hips.
hips.
2 C's, is that the way you're supposed to say it? Is that kind of like the hip thing? You thicker with 2 C's? Is that how it's supposed to be? Or
I think that's paused, if that's anything.
What a
I'm
question.
texting Roach right
That is
now.
question of the year.
Just saying, you are getting an edible bouquet. I'm getting you an edible arrangement.
Now he would pause that.
Sure. Yeah, there we go. I think that's pause.
Yeah, man sending another man an edible bouquet.
I would do that. Sounds like it's generally used as a compliment, celebrating fuller body types rather than shaming them. Originally applies mainly to women, but is now used for men, animals, even objects. Quote, that's a thick burger.
I've not heard that.
Dude,
sure, yeah, why not?
Either. Sure. Oh, God, that is just so great. That is really fantastic. Let's see what Ralph Cranston from Cranston Online wants. Ralph, are you down with the thick bodies?
Pause.
The what?
The thickness.
The thickness. Are you down with the thickness like Disturbed is?
I guess so. All right, I am.
All right. Hey, listen, aren't we all? All right. So, Ralph, what you got going on, buddy?
Well, look, when I look at this team and hear people say, well, the owner doesn't want to spend money. Breslow, who's a first-time general manager, and he does know players. The best pitcher on this team and the best reliever in baseball, to me, closer, he brought them in last year. So he kind of know baseball. But what sickens me that they don't get is that look who's in first place in that division, Tampa Bay. Look at their payroll.
Yeah.
Now look at Boston's payroll. Now they do things, and I blame, and I've been saying it for years, the CEO. Now you did things, you signed up, and I'm going to include Anthony, who we don't know what he's going to be. I mean, everybody's got, we need this all-star. We don't know this yet. And
you don't, Ralph. The one thing we do know is that it will most likely be a thick evening. We know that. Very, very thick.
Tonight's tonight. Roche might change the whole sports culture around. That question may just spark the whole summer.
That could be it. That could be the turning point. Can I give one more time? Please give me the question and answer one more time.
Rude question. Are you thicker with 2 C's? Is that the way you're supposed to say it? Is that kind of like the hip thing? You thicker with 2 C's? Is that how we're supposed to be? Or
You got paused, if that's anything.
Are you bow-legged? You just tell me about them bow-legged thick ones. You like them bow-legged and thick? That's what we should change our show name to.
Yeah.
Bow-legged and thick in the afternoons on WEEI.
Can we get a response tomorrow, Rich? Like, can you ask Dan why he said that? What possessed him? And can we get the answer tomorrow?
You better put that on DZ tonight. I want to hear that clip on
It's great. It's great. You know what, Dan? You don't have to work for the rest of the year. You have filled your awesome quota. That's just great. And then I learned a new term too. Like we got our quarterback just saying, "Dude, that sounds somewhat sexually weird." Oh God,
somewhat.
So I guess.
You got paused, if that's anything.
Oh man, well that was fun. All right, Christian Arcane, what do we got coming on? Give it to me.
We got the Mass Mutual pregame show. Red Sox, another heartbreaker last night, and Connolly early on the mound tonight. So.
All right. Everybody have yourself a wonderful evening. Here's to the Red Sox not blowing it in the ninth, scoring more runs once again, but actually finishing the job. The thickness. They are down with the thickness tonight. Let's all get bow-legged and pause. Let's go, baby. Here's some Red Sox fun for you. Now I got my friends texting me.
Tonight, Sox and Braves. Here's Christian Arcand.
Good evening, Red Sox fans, and welcome in. It's the Mass Mutual pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow. Christian Arcand here with you. Red Sox and the Braves, game 2 of 3 from Fenway Park. We are live in our Ford Clubhouse Fenway studio. And let's get right to our opening take, which is brought to you by Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy. Sip the fruity, candy-coated chaos. And that is that everything seemed to be looking good for the Red Sox last night at Fenway. I asked Will Fleming if maybe they could pull off a surprise. Will Fleming, very negative, by the way, which he's accused me of being before. And everything looked good. Back-to-back home runs to open the game for Jarren Duran and Ceddanne Rafaela. Ranger Suarez mowing down the Braves lineup. But unfortunately, this Fenway curse is like a real thing this year. And even with the offense beginning to wake up lately, this team's still struggling big time on their home field. The Red Sox would maintain that 2-0 lead until the 5th inning. Mauricio Dubon would draw a 2-out walk, and then Matt Olson promptly deposited a Suarez sinker into the right field bleachers, tying the game at 2. Then in the 6th inning, the wheels fell off for Ranger. A leadoff triple to Austin Riley, a walk to Eli White, and that set up Michael Harris.
91st pitch, here it is, and it's ripped into right field. It's going to give the Braves the lead. Into the gap, a slider, and it's over the short wall. That actually is a break for the Red Sox. It's 3-2 Atlanta. He went to slider, and Harris has owned Ranger tonight. It is 3-2 Braves.
That was 8 inches below the zone.
That would give the Braves their first lead. It would chase Suarez. He finished with 5 innings, 5 runs on 6 hits with 3 walks and 4 strikeouts. The other runs coming off Greg Weissert, who came on in relief, led up an RBI single to Ronald Acuna Jr., and that made it 5-2 Atlanta. Red Sox would scratch across a run in the 6th, and then in the 7th, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who was almost the hero on Sunday, hit a solo shot off Dylan Lee, making it 5-4, but the Michael Harris show wasn't over yet. He faced Tyron Guerrero with 1 on and no out in the 8th.
He sets, he throws, and a high drive crushed into center field. Ceddanne has no chance. It's way back, and it is out of here. 2-run homer, Michael Harris, and it is 7-4 Atlanta.
Michael Harris, goodness, have a day.
Have a day indeed. That's your play of last night's game. Brought to you by Nissan. At Nissan, they make cars that thrill. Experience the thrill for yourself today. Shop NissanUSA.com. A big night at the dish for Mr. Harris. 4 for 4 with a home run, 2 runs scored, and 3 batted in. Red Sox would threaten in the 9th. A 2-run single for Kiner-Falefa made it 7-6, but the Red Sox unable to plate the tying run. And there's your final score, 7-6. Sox lose to the Braves, drop their 4th in a row with blown leads in 3 of those 4 losses. They fall to 9 games under 500 at 22-31 on the year, and they drop to a dismal 8-18 at Fenway. A loss tonight, Red Sox would fall to 10 games under 500 for the first time since 2015. Red Sox will officially be 1/3 of the way through the season after tonight's game. Can't blame the offense lately. Red Sox have scored 19 runs in 4 games so far in the homestand, although they are 0-4, so while it's great to see the bats waking up, the results have not yet made their way over to the standings. Tonight, Red Sox look to avoid a 5-game losing skid, which would match their season high. And that brings us to tonight's pitching matchup, brought to you by Town Fair Tire. For the best prices on tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire, nobody. For the Red Sox, it'll be Connolly Early getting the ball. He of the 4-2 record and 3.33 ERA. It's his second time facing the Braves. In his last 3 starts, he went 5 innings and allowed 2 earned runs, both solo home runs back on May 15th. Braves did win that game 3-2. It was a no decision for Early. His last start against the Royals, he went 6 1/3, 3 runs on 6 hits, 2 home runs, and 5 strikeouts. He's been good this year, allowed 3 runs or fewer in 13 of his 14 starts. For the Braves, Bryce Elder getting the start, and he's been great. 4-2 record, 1.97 ERA. That is the 10th best in the majors among pitchers who have thrown at least 40 innings so far. Red Sox beat Elder 11 days ago in Atlanta. Wilson Contreras with a go-ahead 2-run homer in the 8th. Red Sox won that game 3-2. Elder, though, very good. 8 innings, 3 runs on 7 hits with no walks and 3 strikeouts. Last start, he went 6 innings with a run on 5 hits, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts in a 5-4 win over the Nationals that got settled in 11 innings. Lefties this year really struggle against Elder. They are hitting 135. Tonight's first pitch is at 6:45. First pitch is brought to you by Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers, Boston's go-to injury attorney for over 30 years. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Call all 7s at 617-777-7777. You can watch the Red Sox pregame show on Twitch. Just follow WEEI. Brought to you by Subaru of New England. Let love bloom in a 2026 Subaru. Find yours at SubaruofNewEngland.com. It is time now for the Baseball Isn't Boring 2-Minute Grill with Rob Bradford and Ceddanne Rafaela putting together a highly encouraging campaign for the Red Sox. Not a lot of guys on this roster can say that, but with an OPS of 781 through 51 games, big-time strides, especially with offensive discipline at the plate. He's already drawn 12 walks after only walking 28 times last year in 156 games. Ceddanne Rafaela sat down with Rob Bradford for the 2-Minute Grill.
There's no human being I'd rather be talking to for the 2-Minute Grill more than Ceddanne Rafaela. Congratulations with everything. And would it be fair to say that you're feeling better now overall than you ever have as a hitter?
No. I mean, obviously.
I mean, last year too was 2 months was pretty good.
Before the All-Star break, it was what I'm doing now, but now I'm more consistent, I think, as I was at that moment. But I think that moment I was really feeling myself. Now I'm still, I feel like there will be times this year that will be better than now.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but you probably have a better idea of why it's happening. Would that be fair to say? Because you're more disciplined, you're swinging the right pitches, and would that be fair? We all learn as it goes along.
Yeah, I think it's that. I think it's what I've told everybody for my first 2 years. I'm still learning, and I'm still learning too. It's a process, and I've been trusting it, and now you can see the growth, and you can see that I'm getting better at the plate. But I always knew what I can do at the plate and how I can help the team. So I'm really happy that things is going that way right now.
Is there any adjustment that you made, even a slight adjustment that you made over the last month or so?
I think I came into the year with less movement.
Okay.
Try to be as simple as I can and direct to the ball as I can, and yeah, I think I'm just trying to simplifying everything at the plate and not trying to do too much. It's just be simple and then hit the ball.
Just the last thing, do you realize how much, when you get up to the plate in the late innings with a game on the line, that the entire ballpark thinks that something good is going to happen? Can you feel that? Because obviously you've had a lot of big moments, but is it got to that point where you really like that moment?
Yeah, I love that. I love the love the fans gave me. It pumped me. It put a lot of, you can say, confidence in me, because I don't take as pressure. I take it as confidence because they trust me, and that's when I feel more trust. It's when I hear the fans, and after that I'm locked in.
It's true. All right, man. Thank you.
There you go, SETI Ball Game. Ceddanne Rafaela sitting down with our own Rob Bradford in the 2-Minute Grill, presented by McFarland Energy, the region's most dependable provider of home heating oil, including BioHeat, as well as expert HVAC services at McFarlandEnergy.com. Coming up in about 15 minutes, the guys from WEEI Afternoon sat down with Chad Tracy, the Ken, Rich, and Ted Show, brought to you by your New England Ford dealers. Ford, the official vehicle of that dirty water and the official vehicle of Major League Baseball. But coming up next, we will head live up to the Joe Castiglione radio booth, talk to Will Fleming, get his take on this matchup here tonight, the Red Sox, and the struggles they're having so far at Fenway Park and more. Don't go anywhere. That's next here on the Mass Mutual pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow.
After a tough winter combined with harsh coastal weather, home exteriors take a beating. That's why pros across the Northeast have trusted AZEK Exteriors for over 25 years. As the #1 brand for premium exterior trim and molding, AZEK keeps homes elevated with stunning details that endure beautifully no matter the conditions. And now, introducing AZEK Lap Siding, pairing the classic beauty of traditional wood siding with modern durability. Available in 18 different colors from AZEK Captivate Pre-Finishing. Start planning your remodel today with AZEK. Order free samples at AZEKExteriors.com.
He's in the jam, and the pitching coach is headed out to the mound.
You okay, kid?
Coach, you ever think about your financial future?
Yeah, but not with the bases loaded in a full count.
Fair point.
Plus, there's Mass Mutual.
So, I should look into Mass Mutual?
Absolutely.
Can I borrow your phone? I left mine in my locker.
Yeah, but maybe after the game.
Another fair point, Coach.
Mass Mutual, official partner of the Red Sox. Learn more at massmutual.com.
Let love bloom in a 2026 Subaru Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive. Buy with as low as 0.9% financing or lease for just $269 per month. All things grow with love. It's what makes Subaru, Subaru. Details at SubaruofNewEngland.com.
You're listening to the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Mass Mutual pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow. Christian Arcand here with you live from our WEEI Ford Clubhouse studio on Lansdowne Street. Looking out at Lansdowne Street as the Red Sox and the Braves get ready to play Game 2 of 3 here. Bryce Elder and Connolly earlier pitching matchup. And before we go to Will Fleming, let's pause 10 seconds for station ID here on the Shaws and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Network.
From the WEEI studios, 93.7 WEEI FM and HD1, Lawrence, Boston. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Will Fleming is the voice of the Red Sox. He was on the call last night with Will Middlebrooks, and just like the rest of us, got his heart broken again. Will, welcome, first of all. Always nice to talk with you.
But how are all our people out on Lansdowne? It's a lovely night at Fenway Park. What's going on out there?
Certainly. A lot of Braves gear, I'm noticing. I saw a guy decked out yesterday, head to toe, Boston Braves uniform, pants, hat, everything.
Oh, I love that. I mean, Matt, the truth is, like, we love going to Atlanta. It's such a fun ballpark. Their whole environment. Anybody who's not been down there is great. But can you imagine, like, you live in Atlanta or anywhere? The thing is, the Braves have had this, like, bear hug on an entire region down there in the American Southeast. Can you imagine being a fan in Tennessee or Florida or whatever, and you get to come up here for a summery night at Fenway? You would make that trip 10 times out of 10. So I'm good with the Braves gear in town.
Yeah, it's not bothering me very much. A lot of Red Sox fans here as well. I think that while the experience at Fenway is nice until the game starts, fans still are showing up. And you're here for every single pitch of this, Will. How are you holding up here, buddy? Because this has been a rough stretch.
People ask me that all the time. You know how it is, Christian. I ride and die with this team, and I'm never going to change that. I love doing these games. I love being a part of it. I love the opportunity to sort of carry the emotion of the roller coaster ride that is a baseball season to our fans. Would I like it if it were a little less stressful? Yes, I would. I'd like the team to be 15 games over 500, where, you know, a bullpen arm blows a save and it's not that big a deal. But unfortunately, that's just not where we are right now, Christian, where it's when they went through that, like, 15-game stretch where they had the best ERA in the sport and didn't score at all, that was such a wasted opportunity, because when you pitch like that, you should win whatever it is, 12 out of 15 games, and then all of a sudden you're, whatever you are, 1 game under 500, and then you're rolling again, and if you lose a game late like they did last night, it's not the end of the world, but everything is so over-magnified. And I think that's the big challenge for this team, for this front office, for this ownership group. Got to find a way in the next, I really believe, Christian, in like the next month to stabilize this thing and pick a lane and go one way or the other, where so every single night is not so pressurized, and you don't, every pitch, every, you know, spot with runners in scoring position is not so overanalyzed. They dug themselves a hole. They got to find a way out, and it's very hard with the schedule the way that it is right now.
Certainly. You mentioned ownership, and I know this is very speculative, but we saw ownership around the time that Alex Cora got fired. They were very present. You saw John Henry pretty much every night here. You felt the presence. You sort of felt the pressure of that. Do you still see that? Like, is he still around as often? And if so, do you have any idea what their posturing is going to look like if in the next month things don't stabilize?
I could never speculate on that part of it, Christian. I've said this now 800 times, and I think the best part about being here in Boston is that our fans care the most about anybody, more than anybody in baseball, about how this team produces, right? And so there's always speculation and worry and criticism and all that stuff. This ownership group cares as much as any in pro sports, period. End of story. Whether or not there are NESN shots of them in the owner's box, that to me is totally immaterial. Just think about what they've done in the last 12 months. You know, you trade away a cornerstone player in Devers, you fire your manager, you fire the whole staff. They've invested in this team. They are invested to this moment. Christian, you've watched this as closely as anybody. If things do not turn around, you and I both know what's going to happen here. End of story. Period. Like, jobs are on the line. I saw Craig Breslow said that out loud. He has to know that. It is not a good look that Chris Sale is going to be on the mound tomorrow at Fenway Park. It is not a good look that Kyle Harrison has been unbelievable. It is not a good look that all of a sudden Vaughn Grissom has started to hit. I mean, these things add up. But to answer your question, yes, they are deeply invested and care about this thing, and changes will be made if this thing does not turn around.
Okay, well, I believe you. And yeah, the Vaughn Grissom grand slam last night, that was
extra.
That was a little extra, wasn't it? Yeah, that was a little much. Seasons like this, Will, sometimes you have to look outside the standings, and one thing that everyone's liked so far is Connolly Early. Guy on the mound tonight is 1/3 of the way through his first full season. What have you really enjoyed about his progression so far?
Everything. I mean, everything. He's, he and Ranger and Sonny are very similar in that they're just pitchers in the truest sense. Capital P pitchers, where they just take them out and they do things in a way that is just different. Jacob Mizorowski, the Milwaukee Brewers are on this incredible tear. He just blows people away with 103 miles an hour 95 times a night. That's not what Connolly is. I love watching him perform on the mound because he's a lot of different things, Christian. So from the start of a game, he's going to mix and match and throw a lot of different pitches and a lot of different counts and keep the modern hitter off balance. That part is super fun. But to me, just as impressive and cool to watch is that when things go wrong, like I said this on the air when he was on the mound last time, and I believe this fundamentally, Brian Bayo needs to have binoculars in the dugout and watch Connolly Early and how he acts when things go wrong. Because you know what he does? He gets tougher and better, and he becomes a bigger stud when 2 or 3 things go wrong against him. If an error is made behind him, if he makes a mistake, the home runs have been a thing for him. If he gives up a homer, guess what happens the next 2-3 hitters? He's his best in an entire start. I love that about him. He is tough. He is wily. He's kind of an old soul on the mound, and I just every time he takes the mound for me, it's a joy to watch.
Talking with Will Fleming here in the Mass Mutual pregame show. Will, it's the same lineup tonight as last night, which you don't often see with this team, but that means another night of Mickey Gasper catching, another night of Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, and the offense has responded lately. What do you make of this new look here?
Well, I like that Chad Tracy's willing to play hot hands. I do. And, would you like Wong or Narvaez a little bit better defensive catchers behind the plate? I think you probably would, but Mickey just keeps hitting. And if IKF is going to be himself, and as he told you last night, like, I'm fighting for my career and my life. And by the way, Christian, I think that kind of mentality is really essential to a team that tries to turn things around, right? Like, we're staring down the barrel of a gun right now. Like, it's all on the line. Kiner-Falefa was beloved in Toronto. He was beloved in New York. He's a veteran leader. If he's going to swing it like he is, you have to find a way to keep him in there. And I really do like that about Chad Tracy. Like, the people who are hot, the people who are swinging it are going to play. So it's not ideal, but this is the roster they have. How many times did we hear Alex Cora say that? The roster is what the roster is. So I give Chad Tracy a lot of credit for maximizing the players that he has, for putting the guys who are hot in there, and we'll see how it falls out tonight.
Will Fleming, we look forward to the call of the game, my friend. I'll talk to you in the postgame.
I hope so, and if I drop another Izzy in the hizzy, I apologize.
No need. That means he did something good, so we'll be happy about that.
See you, Christian.
All right, thanks, Will. And stick around because my lock of the night may have something to do with Mr. Izzy there. Coming up next, the guys from the Ken, Rich, and Ted show. Rich, Ken, and Ted. Ted, Ken, and Rich, all of them, all 3 of them. Talk with Chad Tracy. It's coming up next here on the Mass Mutual pregame show, presented by your New England Ford dealers. Don't go anywhere. Red Sox and the Braves. It's the Mass Mutual pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow.
It was a case that brought Boston to its knees.
Can any of you actually solve this case?
I can, but we have to do it my way.
This summer, the chase is on.
Follow the car! I can't. They stole my car, but it's fine.
Why is it fine?
Because I have Mafre Insurance. They'll take care of it.
Protected. That's the Mafre feeling. Visit MafreInsurance.com. That's MAPFRE Insurance.com.
It's time to start finding things we need for the summer. Where did you put those seashell hair clips you bought on Main Street in Hyannis last year? It's also time to find money for the summer that you may have coming to you don't even know about. Enter your name at findmassmoney.gov. It's estimated 1 out of every 10 people have unclaimed property. It only takes 30 seconds to search your name. Extra money for the summer would be really nice. Put your name in at findmassmoney.gov. It's fast, easy, and it's free.
Hey, Lou Merlone here. Grab your weekly groceries and earn reward points towards the Shaw's and Star Market Grand Slam Summer Sweepstakes. This is your chance to win free groceries for a year. Plus, just like Shaw's shopper Destiny Cesari of Attleboro, your child could become an honorary bet kid. Just redeem your grocery reward points in the 4U app to submit your entries. Want to rack up points faster? Clip the 4x coupon in the 4U app and shop participating products like Coca-Cola, Monster, Hood, and KM. Download the app or head to Shaw's or StarMarket.com/Grand Slam to get all the details.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You deserve a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Switch today. Get started for $60 a month for 12 months when you add an advanced solution to a qualifying internet package. Limited time offer. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and autopay with bank account required. Taxes and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
What an atmosphere tonight. The stands are packed. Down here, 2 fans side by side, both holding a Heineken. Promising start. The chant begins. Listen to that. Perfect sync. Corner coming in. They lean forward together and goal! Arms up. They cheers. Wait. That's a hug. That's a hug. Let's check the replay. Yes, 2 strangers at kickoff. Friends by full time.
Fans have more friends. Find yours in the stands. Must be 21 plus to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. In a world in need of a hero, one man rises to the challenge in style. He is...
just driving the kids to soccer practice.
Make every day feel epic in the all-new Hyundai Palisade Hybrid with up to an EPA-estimated 619 miles of range on select trims, advanced tech, and class-leading interior space. Visit HyundaiUSA.com or call 562-314-4603 for more details.
And hey, come on, no cleats on the seats.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Take Boston sports with you wherever you go. Download the Odyssey app. Now, back to Red Sox baseball on WEEI.
Welcome back. It's the Mass Mutual pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow. Christian Arcand here with you, live from Fenway in our Ford Clubhouse studios. And before every game, We talk with the manager, Chad Tracy, and Chad Tracy on WEEI is brought to you by our New England Ford dealer and employee pricing for all. You pay what we pay. Ford, the official vehicle of Major League Baseball, and that dirty water. Here with the manager, Chad Tracy, is Rich, Ken, and Ted from the Rich, Ken, and Ted Show.
Let's just start off by saying, at least you guys are hitting lately, so that's nice. I mean, obviously, the team is they're snake bitten at home, and the record isn't great, but when you see some of the forward movement with the offense and you still just can't get over that hump, does any of that give you any kind of hope? I know you want the wins, and I know you want the W's, right, but at least there's some sort of step offensively that looks like you're going in the right direction.
I think that's well said. Yeah, I mean, you got to win games. Like, everybody knows that. Coaches know that. Players know that. So there is no moral victories. But there is, in a sense, when you're playing a 162-game schedule and the American League is not performing as a whole, and you feel like, as we've gone along in the month I've been here, like, hey, our offense needs to be better, and you feel pretty strongly your pitching is going to be good, that even if it has a blip here and there. So to see us scoring runs, like, consistently, getting, 4, 5, 6 runs at least over the last couple of weeks, as a group, in a baseball sense, you look at that and say, if we can continue this for a long stretch of time, we like our chances, Yeah. That being said, it's come, but it's happened to come at a time when we were enough games under 500 where we realized we have a lot of work to do as well.
Can you read anything into it being Fenway, where you guys seem to be snake bit most of all?
No, other than just the results of the games this week, where you feel like, maybe you get a lead and you didn't hold it, and then you're trailing and you make a vicious comeback like we have 3 out of the last 4 nights, and it comes up just short. And so, yeah, that can make you feel snake bitten and make you feel like that sense of like, man, nothing's going right. But at the same time, like, there are still a lot of good things happening that weren't before.
Yeah.
And you have to look at it that way. But, no question, like, there's a lot of things we have to do better. We have to win games. Like, and the biggest one and the most telling one is, like, we got to win games at home.
Yeah.
And that changes the whole dynamic. So we get all that. But how do you do that? Like, take the pitching and the offense and put them together for a stretch of time. Mm-hmm. That's how teams go on runs where you say, hey, man, they won 12 out of the last 15.
Yeah.
That's how that happens. You take the pitching that's been good at times, you take the offense, which looks better, and you put those together. And if you have one of those runs, everybody looks up and goes, man, like, they're kind of right in it, or they're in the second wild cards, whatever. That's how you have to look at it when you have 100 and whatever games left.
Chad, how's the overall morale right now? Who are your dudes? Who are the guys that you've identified as maybe being kind of the flag carriers that, picking guys up and kind of pulling guys through these, times like you're in right now?
Believe it or not, the morale's pretty good. Interestingly enough, like, I feel like it's almost better now than it was 2 weeks ago when we were winning games, but finding a way to win them like 3-2 and just scratching out some wins. But because the bats have started to come to life a little bit, I feel the morale, and I think it's what we just talked about, the sense of the guys knowing, like, in the long haul, if we found our rhythm offensively, we can hold on to that for a while. They feel pretty good about we'll have a run at some point. But to answer your question, all of them, like, Wilson Contreras has been an amazing addition for us. Like, he's been around the league for a long time and plays the game as hard as a veteran player as that you'll ever see. That is huge for us. And we have, Crochet and Ranger, all these guys. Sonny, when they're not pitching, they're the guys standing right on top of the dugout, rooting for the group to get it going. They know what it can mean if our offense gets going. So we have a really tight-knit group. And I think when you kind of watch what's going on, everybody's on the same page and feels like, is our record what we want? Not even close. Like, it's not good enough. But I think everybody views it the same way, that, like, the team's capability, if we do some of the things we're talking about, like, it could be a 2-week stretch where that changes dramatically, and you have to continue to look at it that way.
One addition to the game that I love this year is the introduction of the ABS challenge system. I get irrationally excited when it's challenged. And I know the people in the crowd too. It's like everyone leans forward and, are they going to get this one right? It's quick, and it's truly added to, I think, the enjoyment of the game. However, when it comes to ABS challenges, the Red Sox, I just looked it up, They're unfortunately dead last. They're the only team as of this afternoon that has lost more challenges than they've won. I think it's a success rate of 48%.
Yeah.
Is that something you're discussing with the players? And is the team doing like any kind of teaching on when to challenge and what they should be doing?
Talk about it a lot, actually. Talked about it yesterday. Believe it or not, you guys know I've been in AAA for a long time. This stuff originated in AAA. I've been watching it for 4 years. 48% sounds terrible, and it's, but even in AAA, all the years they did it, I think the average was around 51. So it's not a massive thing. It's usually just 50-50, slightly above. And we have numbers that we look at. I don't want to turn it into a math equation, but per challenge that we get right, our run value is actually pretty good. The problem is we're not challenging enough. We leave opportunities on the table. So our conversations with our players are not necessarily about missing one, because everybody misses half of them, on average.
Yeah.
It's more about there are opportunities, even maybe in situations where there's nobody on base, where you want to use those and keep them around for big situations.
Yeah.
But there are certain egregious calls with nobody on. If you know, go, and not leaving strike one that's this far outside and just being okay with it being strike one.
Yeah.
That's the conversations, is being more willing to use them in spots that maybe aren't with bases loaded, but if you know. So we're having conversations around that topic pretty regularly, trying to get that thing to swing the other direction.
For instance, Ranger missed one yesterday.
That was not a great one.
Not a great one.
No. And he knows that too.
Are pitchers even allowed? I mean, some teams just ban.
Every once in a while, a pitcher in frustration, or if they think maybe somebody's head, they'll rip one, and that happens. But yeah, that one was pretty far outside.
Instantly, I was like, hang on, what's going on?
That one was pretty far outside.
I was just going to ask you about Craig Breslow. He had a quote that he said you guys were feeling each other out, getting to know each other. Obviously, you know who each other are, but I'm sure in a more intimate sense. How's that been from your perspective? You know the players probably maybe better than you do Craig in some sense.
Talking about Craig and I?
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's been good. He's, obviously we know each other. It's been the last few years as me working on Myers, but just not a lot of, day-to-day interaction.
Yeah.
So now I've been here a month, and he's very present, and we get to have multiple conversations a day, before the game, after the day, and that's come along nicely. The more you're around somebody, the more you get to talk to them and see how they view things, and they get to see how you view things, and you kind of take your two thought processes and put them together. In addition to our staff, that's really good. So that's come along well as far as he and I's working relationship.
With Roman out, Jarren Duran's more of an everyday player now, and it feels like there's maybe a correlation to his uptick in his hitting. Do you see it that way? Just the fact that he's getting to play in the field more, and that maybe that's a reason why he's hitting the ball a little bit better, or is it something else?
I don't necessarily think it's because the field. I think maybe there's something to. He's in there every day, and it's in the same spot in the lineup. That could be. It could be that he's finding a little bit of a rhythm, and he's starting to square the ball up. There was periods there in my first couple weeks where he wasn't getting results and he was hitting balls hard. That can start to grind on you mentally when you feel like you're doing everything right and you're not getting the results. He's getting some results now, so it could just be that when as an athlete, when you start to feel positive things happen, it starts to stack. But certainly maybe just leading off every day and the trust of being there. But what I know about Jarren is when Jarren's good and Jarren is himself, he helps us score runs. Mm-hmm. Any guy leading off, if he's struggling, it's gonna, you're not gonna score. But when he is right and what he's capable of doing as a leadoff hitter, hit the ball out of the ballpark, hit it in the gap for a triple, he helps us win. So he's starting to swing the bat better, and it's probably no coincidence that we're scoring a little bit more too.
Well, Chad, thanks for coming in, man. It's great to meet you the first time, and hopefully things get turned around, because as I said, you have guys on this team who don't even know what Fenway is like when your team is winning.
I know.
And just to be able to tell them and show them it's the greatest place on earth. When this team is winning, Fenway Park is one of the greatest places on earth to be. And just for them to, see that would be something else.
We feel the same. But they are going to work, and we're going to work, and we feel the same. That's what we're fighting for.
Chad Tracy on with Rich, Ken, and Ted of the Rich, Ken, and Ted Show on WEEI, which you can watch Red Sox pregame on Twitch. Just follow WEEI and let love bloom in a 2026 Subaru. Find yours at SubaruofNewEngland.com. Still to come here on the Mass Mutual pregame show. We got your starting lineups. We got a Brad Foe grab and go. We got the Subaru of New England scoreboard update, and I'll try and bounce back after missing my lock last night. Don't go anywhere. That's next here on the Mass Mutual pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow.
Jeffrey Glassman Injury Attorneys have been Boston's go-to injury attorneys for over 30 years. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you've got to get Glassman. Call all sevens at 617-777-7777. That's 617-777-7777.
Boston baseball fans, it's Will Fleming. Spring in New England means baseball is back and backyard season is beginning. TimberTech Decking combines innovative technology with durable materials to deliver the beauty of wood without the maintenance. Built to handle the elements season after season. Order free samples or connect with a contractor near you at timbertech.com. TimberTech, everything wood should be.
Cancer has a mortal enemy. Dana-Farber. For nearly 80 years, Dana-Farber's advanced discoveries have helped people everywhere get their life back. Because nothing is as effective against cancer as breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough. If your world is touched by cancer, Dana-Farber can make a difference. Make Dana-Farber discoveries possible when you give to the Jimmy Fund.
Hi, it's Will Fleming here, and Boston weather is relentless. The ice, the snow, the summer humidity. Your home's exterior can take a beating. What if your siding was made to stand strong through it all? Hardy Fiber Cement Siding is engineered for our climate. It resists cracking in the freezing cold and won't swell in the summer heat. You get the timeless beauty of wood with lasting protection and low maintenance. Your home deserves the #1 brand of siding in North America. Learn more at jameshardy.com. That's jameshardy.com.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Ratliff, Engineering Director at Nissan. We know some things are important to hear from an expert, not a voice actor. For instance, the Nissan Frontier is not only powerful and fun to drive, but it's durable too. We added the V6 engines. When you need that power in the off-road, it's there. I know, we've tested it a lot. Now get out there and find your Frontier.
Nissan, #1 in new vehicle quality among mainstream brands by J.D. Power. Well-qualified buyers get 0% APR on the 2026 Nissan Rogue, Murano, Pathfinder, or Frontier, excluding S-Trim. For J.D. Power 2025 US IQS award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. Awards based on 2025 model year. Example, 0 down payment, 60 months financing at $1,667 per month per thousand financed. Frontier S-Trim 1.9% APR for 60 months at $1,748 per month per thousand financed. Actual down payment may vary. Subject to in-back credit approval. Not all buyers qualify. Dealer contribution may affect actual price set by dealer. Contact dealer for details. N6/3026.
Having health insurance is a must-have, and the Massachusetts Health Connector has a power-packed lineup in Connect-to-Care plans that delivers. At the top of the order, lower premiums make monthly costs affordable. The middle of the lineup is packed with low copays and no deductibles, so you can save money on everything. From an urgent ER trip to managing chronic disease like diabetes and hypertension through no-cost prescriptions. Round out the order access to Connect-to-Care plans now at mahealthconnector.org, and you have a winning team with you and the Massachusetts Health Connector.
Take your taste buds to the candy shop with the irresistible taste of cotton candy extra strength 5-hour energy shots. A delicious swirl of vanilla with a sweet but sugar-free fruity twist. Plus the classic 5-hour energy blend of B vitamins, nutrients, and caffeinated kick. Don't miss out on a perfectly sweet and impossibly nostalgic treat. Get your cotton candy extra strength 5-hour energy shots today. For more information, visit 5hourenergy.com.
Wait! Before you change the station, listen to this.
Donate your car at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll also get a vacation voucher and a tax deduction.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. Red Sox Review after the game on 93.7 WEEI.
Welcome back to the Mass Mutual pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow. Christian Arcand here with you, live from our Fenway Ford Clubhouse Studios, and it's time for tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Let's meet tonight's players for the home team Red Sox. Same lineup as yesterday. Jaron Duran leading off in left field, followed by Ceddanne Rafaela. Two of them went back-to-back to open the game last night. Wilyer Abreu batting third in right field. Wilson Contreras, your cleanup hitter, and first baseman. Batting fifth to DH, Masataka Yoshida. Mickey Gasper will do the catching and bat sixth. Nick Sogard, your number 7 hitter. And second baseman, Marcelo Meyer, will be batting 8th and playing shortstop. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa in the 9 spot at third base behind the starter, Connolly Early. For the Braves, leading off once again, Ronald Acuna Jr., the shortstop, followed by Mauricio Dubon in left field. Matt Olson, who went deep last night, batting third at first base. Ozzie Albies will bat cleanup at second. Austin Riley, your number 5 hitter, and third baseman. The menace Michael Harris, who was 4 for 4 last night with a home run and a ground rule double, will bat 6th and play center field. Jorge Mateo is your DH tonight, number 7 hitter. Ha-Sung Kim will bat 8th at shortstop, and Chadwick Trump of the Trump administration, the catcher and number 9 hitter behind the starter, Bryce Elder. Time for a grab and go presented by the Bees Knees Benefits app. Here's Bradfo with an update on tonight's Big Sox news.
It's time for the grab and go. A quick look at the biggest Red Sox storylines of the day. Here's Rob Bradford.
All right, we're grabbing and going. Red Sox Braves, game 2 in this series. Of course, Braves had another come from behind victory, their 19th of the season, the most in Major League Baseball. The Red Sox are looking to right the ship, having lost 4 in a row, and of course they are not good at home. 10 games under 500 at Fenway, 8-18, the worst home record in the majors. No other team in the majors has fewer than 10 wins at home. The Red Sox also look to avoid falling 10 games under 500 for the first time since 2015. That's, of course, excluding the awful 2020 shortened season. The Red Sox will be 1/3 of the way through the season after Wednesday's game. The team is currently on pace for 95 losses. The team hasn't lost 95 or more games since the 100-loss season back in 1965. No, Garrett Whitlock out for a little bit after tweaking his knee, slipping over the weekend. And get ready, Chris Sale going to finish things off against his old team. Talk to him a little bit. It says Alex Cora, maybe the best communicator he's ever been around when it comes to manage. All right, there's your grab and go.
Bradfo Grab and Go is presented by the Bees Knees Benefits app. Make it part of every game day and get 50 cents off per gallon on your first fill-up or $5 off in-store. Download the Bees Knees Benefits app today and start saving. Terms apply. Time now for a quick look at the Subaru of New England scoreboard. With so much to love, you don't want to miss the Subaru of New England A Lot to Love event. Learn more at SubaruofNewEngland.com. Finals to tell you about: the Blue Jays top the Marlins 2-1. Guardians 3-2 winners over the Nationals. The D-backs beat the Giants 3-2. Brewers 2-1 winners over the Cardinals, and the Mariners blew out the A's by a final score of 9-1. One game almost over. It's the Phillies up 3-0 over the Padres with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th inning. Still to come tonight, Rays and the Orioles, 6:35 start time. Steven Matz and Trey Gibson, your starters. The O's can sweep that series. Angels and Tigers get underway at 6:40. Jose Soriano and Casey Mize. The Tigers in a free fall have lost 17 of 20. Also starting at 6:40 are the Cubs and the Pirates. Jamison Tyon and Bubba Chandler, your starters. Cubs also free-falling. They've lost 10 in a row. 7:10 start for the Reds and Mets. Andrew Abbott and Huascar Brazoban. 7:40 start time. Twins and White Sox. The Royals and Yankees will get underway at 7:40 as well. 8:05 start time for the Astros and Rangers. 10-10 for the Rockies and the Dodgers. Shohei Ohtani on the mound. He's thrown 16 consecutive scoreless innings. And time now for the Interlock Metal Roofing Lock of the Game, presented by Interlock Metal Roofing. Visit interlockroofing.com. Never re-roof again. How about Isaiah Kiner-Falefa? Over 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. You can get that at plus 125 on your friendly gambling app. You've been listening to the Mass Mutual pregame show. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow. I'm Christian Arcan. Don't move a muscle. Red Sox in action next, right here on the Shaw's and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Network.
You've been listening to the Mass Mutual Red Sox pregame show. Mass Mutual. Talk to Mass Mutual today. Feel comfortable about tomorrow. The Red Sox are coming up next on the Shaw's and Star Market WEEI Red Sox Radio Network.
At Meineke, our goal is doing car care right. That's why our